Hey, what's going on? My name is Rosalia, here with another dream from Psychic Therapy for the Soul. Okay, so I had a dream last night, and this dream is like, wow. I'm gonna tell you about the thought I had as I was waking up from the dream. This is the first thing I'm gonna mention. Is the more that I have these dreams, I'm actually starting to realize that I focus on recollection and I'm starting to remember these dreams more and more. They're becoming more and more vivid, more and more clear. So I find that really interesting. Okay, so the dream. So I'm in this really dark room. I actually wrote it down last night so I wouldn't forget, because I woke up at like 2 in the morning with this dream. So I'm in this really dark room. Okay, I'm in this really dark room and I'm walking over to the right corner of the room, and there's a desk there. And my doctor is actually sitting at the desk. Okay, he's sitting at the desk. He's at the right corner of the desk. There's a window to my right side. Okay, and it's very dark in the room. It's basically like it's night. Okay, like all the lights are turned off. I want to show him something, so I'm looking to show him something. And then I say to him, you know, you have known me since I was 12. Now this is actually true. This is my doctor in real life, so I'm having a dream about my actual doctor. And he has actually been helping me since I was 12 years old, and I'm 34 now, so this is my family doctor. So I say to him, you know, you have known me since I was 12. Okay, so I get really close, like I'm pulled in, like he's pulling me in, and I've actually been feeling this for a while, like this energy between us, like it's like he's pulling me in, kind of thing. But then I take a step back, almost like the pull is too intense for me. I feel a little bit uncomfortable. I say, you know, you've known me since I was 12 years old, and then I take a step back. He makes a face of compassion and concern, which is typically what he does. He's a very, very kind person. I get a little nervous and my heart starts to palpitate, okay, in the dream. My heart starts to palpitate in the dream. I begin to feel like I'm leaving my body. So I found that, like, in the dream, it was very dark. I felt like I was about to leave my body, okay? And I'm walking back and I ask myself and I think to myself, is my blood sugar too low? So that's the thought I have. Is my blood sugar too low? And I back away from the doctor, okay? And I go and I lay down in my bed, so in a bed in the back, okay? So I back away and I lay down on my bed on my left side, with my bed being into the left corner, so I feel like that's important. My mom is there on top of the head, so meaning like where the headboard is, but there was no headboard, so where the pillow is, where I lay down on the pillow. My mom is there, okay? And I'm actually hiding my pain or my fears from her. So I'm hiding my pain and my fears from her. So whatever fears I have that there's something wrong with me in my body, I'm hiding it from her. And then I hear a thought from the outside. I think it's coming from the doctor, I'm not sure. And he says, I wonder if her mom knows how well she's doing. I wonder if her mom knows how well she's doing. So here I'm afraid, okay, that my mom is gonna find out that there's something wrong in my body in the dream. And on the outside I hear, I wonder if her mom knows how well she's doing. This is the most profound part, and I'm still unsure whether it's a death or it's an awakening. So I close my eyes, and as I wake up in real life, okay, I hear, I'll bring her home safely. I'll bring her home safely. In another part of the dream, as I'm closing my eyes, it actually feels like my soul leaves its body, okay? It actually feels like my soul leaves the body. And I woke up with this kind of inkling feeling that I died. okay? Like I actually felt death. So that's the dream. Dark, a little dark. Okay, so I looked at a bunch of symbols, okay? The most important and profound archetypes in this dream is the doctor and the mother, okay? So I looked at my dream book here, and a doctor, so when we dream of a doctor, we are aware that we need to give way to a higher authority in health matters, okay? And a physician, because he's a physician, would indicate that careful consideration should be given to our general state. Another part that I feel like I really related to, because I've been dreaming about my doctor a lot this year, and it's because I've been going to the doctors a lot. I just find myself in the doctor's office a lot. Not that there's anything wrong with me, it's just that I first got injured in my lip here, I got a scar, ended up in my doctor's, they took stitches out. I went to my doctor's because I had pain in my head, and so then we got tested for like minerals and stuff, because I was recovering from like a nervous system imbalance from my old place of living. Last year, I had a lot of panic attacks and a lot of stress and stuff because I had insomnia living in that toxic building that I was in. And I was recovering my nervous system. So I was there for that, kind of rechecking my levels after I've healed and gotten healthier. Then I had that scar on my face here from the basketball injury. So those stitches got removed. And then I was literally yesterday at the doctor's, getting an x-ray on my ankle and getting my wrist checked because those injuries kind of came up again. Probably just lots of fitness in 2025. So I've literally seen my doctor like several times in the span of like just a few months. So I've been dreaming about him a lot. Like he's been coming up a little bit more regularly. So, as you know, when we dream about an archetype or a person, they are actually an identity within us. So they are a personality or an identity within our egos, okay? That is pushed out. So I really resonated with this definition here. The personality of a doctor in a dream suggests the appearance of the healer within. And I really resonate with that because I've always been very much pulled into medicine simply because of the nature of the work that I do. It's preventive medicine, nutrition, and then spiritual healing, mental healing, emotional healing, fitness, all that stuff. It's preventive medicine. So I'm always seeking out ways to heal myself naturally. And I even almost became a doctor when I was younger, but it's too much money to go to med school. So I took an alternative route, all right? But I'm always coming back to this kind of place where I study kind of preventive medicine, so I know a lot about anatomy and systems in the body and how they work and what's required in order for them to function appropriately, etc. So I'm often self-diagnosing, not that that's not good, don't do that at home, but I'm often internally, self-diagnosing, paying attention, asking myself what my body needs, what's the problem, what's the solution. So I'm often kind of like playing Dr. House on myself since I was younger, and healing myself naturally, okay? So this kind of part here, the personality of a doctor in dreams suggests the appearance of the healer within. So I feel like in this case, I'm kind of searching for that healer within, trying to understand, why these injuries are coming up, why my body is, not recovering faster. And then I was also doing quite a bit of Reiki healing before I fell asleep last night. So it was almost like the Reiki healing or the root chakra healing that I was trying to do on my legs, because legs indicate root chakra. It like initiated some kind of dream from my subconscious. And for those of you who don't know, Reiki healing is actually energy healing. So you're using the energy from your external environment and your mental focus. So you're using your mind to heal your body. So it's kind of like a mental healing. And as a result, the energy moves through your body. You're creating new neural pathways. You're communicating with the cells in your body to speed up healing, but also become aware of what your body needs. As we move forward to the dream, there's a window on the right side. The desk is also important, so I'll talk about the desk. So in Feng Shui, the desk actually represents a form of power. And in this case, it was on the right side, and the right side is typically a form of power. But in Feng Shui, the right side indicates fame and fortune. Okay, it's the section of fame and fortune. However, I was actually gaining advice from the doctor, so the healer within. So one can assume that I'm searching for the famous healer inside myself, and which brings me that kind of fortune in my life. So the deeper I look into the healer within, so the more I heal myself, the more famous I become, okay, in my reality. And the more fortunate I become. And I've actually seen that as true. So the desk. So to dream being at someone else's desk. So one can assume that this is a doctor's desk, okay? It actually did feel a little bit like my desk, and he was sitting at my desk, which is kind of interesting given the fact that I'm seeing this as the healer within myself, right? So the powers within me, you could say. But just because of the way the dream was placed, we'll just assume that we were at his desk, and this could indicate a lack of confidence in our own abilities. So it is possible that I haven't been incredibly clear, or I haven't been expressing my health knowledge as much as I would like, and this is why this YouTube channel is existing right now, because I'm trying to give more of what I know without overextending myself, only when the fire kind of strikes. And so and at times I did kind of lack the doubts or wasn't clear about my abilities, because I'm a very factual person, and I feel like, things needed to be rooted down. Things need to be rooted down and completely clear and understood before providing information, so that people do not receive misinformation. So this is where my conflict with providing health-related information kind of battles. So in this sense, I could be lacking my own healer's ability when I'm looking at my doctor, right? So on the right side, there was a window, okay? And the window on the right side, I'm looking outside the window. I'm looking outside from the building into the outside. So the window represents, in this case, in dream psychology, looking externally or extrovertedly. So I see myself as an extroverted person, and I look for solutions or meanings from my external environment. So it basically means that I'm searching for solutions outside of myself. I'm searching for solutions outside of myself. And then in this case, I'm going to the doctors to find a solution. I'm providing the authority to another figure to help me solve a problem that is within me, okay? So I started backing away, okay? I started backing away from the doctor's desk, okay? That could necessarily be mine, because I start to feel dizzy, okay? And another thing too, I said, you have known me since I was 12 years old. So this is like 2 decades of life that I have had with this doctor, okay? He kind of pulled me in. It was a deep connection, and then I felt a little bit uncomfortable. I didn't want to disrespect him. That was basically my thought, and then I kind of backed off. So I kind of backed off from the healer within me. I backed away from the healer within me out of uncomfortableness. So I'm backing away, okay, and I'm going towards my bed, because I start to feel dizzy. I actually start to feel like I can't feel my legs, which is kind of what's been scaring me recently, with the pain in my legs, and then like all the root chakra healing, like I'm leaving my body, okay? And there's been a lot of death around me too recently, a lot of spiritual death and also real deaths. So I'm backing away. I'm going towards my bed, okay? And I feel like my blood sugar is low. I'm asking myself, is my blood sugar low? Because that's the first thought that comes to me when I feel kind of lightheaded. Oh, my blood sugar might be low, right? Such a doctor thing to say, right? I'm like self-diagnosing myself in the dream. I lay down, okay, and my mother is there. And the mother archetype is probably the most beautiful archetype in psychology, okay? In tarot, in psychology, in spirituality. The mother archetype represents compassion, nourishment, nurturing energy. She's the one that nurtured you through self-development since childhood, since birth. And the relationship that you have with your mother in the dream state and in real life is very important. In this case, my mother didn't have any kind of energy towards me. She was just present. Okay, so that indicates that there's a need for me to maybe nurture myself, or I'm becoming whole and learning to be the empress, so learning to be the mother archetype inside me. I'm learning to kind of create that whole totality, knowing when to nurture myself, knowing when to give myself compassion, knowing how to take care of myself. So she kind of represented that when I laid down in the bed, which represents a sense of safety and security. Not to mention that it was on the left side. So on the left side in Feng Shui, that's actually the corner of spirituality and knowledge. Okay, so I'm actually diving deep into my spirituality and knowledge in that moment as I'm taking that kind of break in safety and security. Absolutely blown away by this dream. Okay, the next part, okay, is I hear from the background, I wonder if her mother knows how well she's doing. So my doctor, okay, is trying to say to me that you're very healthy and you're doing very well and you've overcome a lot, which is kind of my understanding of what I had there in health and in general in life. While meantime, I'm worried about my blood sugar, okay, and whatever feeling I'm going through, and I'm hiding that pain and that fear from my mom. So there's a fear of judgment there, okay? There's a fear of being judged, a fear of not being good enough or not being perfect in her eyes, in my mother's eyes, which is, you know, something that I have actually had a relationship to for a very long time. I mean, you obviously want to be good for your parents, okay, but you know, you grow up and you have these kind of expectations to want to be, you know, a good outcome, right? At least that's for me and how I grew up. European kind of beliefs. So she's kind of present there. She's not doing anything. It's just a thought and a fear and a doubt that I'm facing. Okay. I want to mention too that the room is dark, and darkness in a room indicates being unclear about something, or being in the dark about something, and being deep in the shadow of your own unconscious. So all of these fears and doubts I'm having, and these kind of moments of health and fears and doubts I'm having, and the things that I don't know yet, finding that healer within, I'm in the dark about. Okay, and I'm trying to solve this mystery or this puzzle. This part is the most profound. I close my eyes, I go to sleep, and I literally feel my soul leave its body. Okay. I die in the dream. This is like the feeling I have. And this could be two different meanings in dream psychology. It could mean ascension, okay? So I'm literally having a profound spiritual awakening in the dream, okay, in my life. And I'm also dying. So it's like a very symbolic spiritual death where I'm letting go of this whole personality. So all the fears that come with facing the healer within, not knowing what's going on in my body, not knowing what's going on in my body. Am I doing the right things in life? Am I on the right path? Am I taking the right precautions to take care of my physical health? Am I embodying my truest, most confident nature? Am I providing, am I truly listening to myself and who I am and my knowledge, and allowing myself to really embody that kind of doctor within me? Because that's basically what that's about. And am I taking care of myself and truly listening to my feminine energy and nurturing myself in the way that I need to? And I'm like letting go of all of those doubts and fears that I have about, am I doing it right, you know? And I'm letting it go, which is like breathtaking. So what I like to do in my dream analysis readings at times is not only do I provide the kind of dream psychology symbols and meanings in the sessions, I also do a tarot pull to kind of see what's going on. And you won't believe what I got. I got Judgment in reverse, okay? I didn't want to really show this one because she's naked here and I don't want YouTube to ban this video. It came in reverse, and judgment in reverse here is letting go of judgment. So letting go of doubts and fears and criticism that are internal, because it's reversed, so it's stemming from the inside. So these are internal criticisms or judgments that I may have on myself when it comes to health and healing. So, you know, accepting help, allowing help to come, right? And, you know, I think that the most beautiful and empowering factor in this dream is my ability to be able to ask my doctor for help, okay, but also recognize that I'm strong enough to solve this on my own, because I'm looking at my internal self as I'm looking for external solutions to help myself, because we're all connected, right? The world outside of us is the world inside us. So you can kind of assume that when you're looking for solutions outside of yourself, you are looking inside yourself at the same time. It's like a big mirror. So I wanted to provide the other judgment card that I have right now kind of mixed in my deck. In this one here, it literally is a profound awakening, just like the way that I die in the dream. I literally feel my soul leave its body, and this was my exact feeling in the end of the dream. And judgment is an awakening, meaning you're letting go or you're shedding an old body, okay? You're having a spiritual death and a rebirth. It's a complete rebirth. It's a lot different than the death card in the tarot. It's an awakening. This is an awakening. So like you're letting go of who you once were. You're letting go of a major cycle, because the judgment card is the second last card in the deck. I'm back. So just to summarize, that dream represented a big spiritual awakening and rebirth in my life. All right, on to the next one. Bye now.